getting the games organised. My big brother organises the games. He's in the audience, and he's also the referee.
For decades, Rod Stewart has been a global icon, a raspy-voiced legend who dominated the charts, filled arenas, and captured hearts across generations. From Maggie May to sold-out world tours, his life seemed larger than life, filled with music, glamour, and the spotlight that few could ever imagine. But now, at 80, the singer who once thrilled millions is living a quieter life, and what's happening behind closed doors has left fans both concerned and heartbroken. The reality of growing older has not been kind to the rock star. Once unstoppable energy is now replaced with slower days, careful routines, and the quiet contemplation that comes with age. His once-packed calendar of concerts and events has shrunk dramatically. Friends close to him whisper about limitations he faces daily, physical, emotional, and even the subtle aches that remind him that time waits for no one. The public sees the occasional headline, the rare interview, the photo at an event, but they don't see the loneliness, the moments of reflection, or the struggles of a man coming to terms with the twilight of his career and the fleeting nature of fame. For someone who spent a lifetime on stages, performing to thousands, the silence can be deafening. The story goes beyond the glitter and glamour. It's a glimpse into a life that once seemed untouchable, now touched by vulnerability, reflection, and the quiet sadness of an era ending. From personal struggles to the changes aging brings, fans are witnessing a side of Rod Stewart that few ever imagined. What he's going through today is a reminder that even legends face the most human of experiences, and it's far more emotional than anyone expected. Rod Stewart has been a household name for more than half a century, from his early days with the Jeff Beck Group to his legendary solo career. Stewart's distinctive voice and undeniable charisma made him one of rock's most beloved figures. His life has always been under the spotlight, sold-out arenas, glamorous parties, and adoring fans who followed him wherever he went. For decades, his music defined eras, from the rebellious energy of the 70s to the heartfelt ballads of later years. He was not just a performer, he was an icon, someone whose career seemed destined to last forever. But now, at the age of 80, the reality of life beyond the stage has settled in. Rod's daily life is no longer filled with tour buses, backstage thrills, or roaring crowds. The energy that once carried him through endless concerts and world tours has inevitably slowed. Friends and insiders have observed that his days are quieter, more reflective, and often tinged with the loneliness that comes with stepping away from a lifetime in the limelight. The constant whirlwind of fame has been replaced by a slower rhythm, simple routines, quiet mornings, and the inevitable challenges of aging. Physically, the years have left their mark. Rod's once boundless stamina is now tempered with caution. Activities that were effortless in his youth-long rehearsals, multiple performances in a single night require careful planning and rest. Even walking through his home or taking time to practice his craft comes with reminders that time has changed his body, while his spirit remains sharp. There are moments of frustration and reflection when the reality of growing older cannot be ignored. Emotionally, too, Rod Stewart has had to face changes that fame could never shield him from. The world has always adored him, but growing older brings a different kind of attention, one tinged with concern and nostalgia. Interviews and public appearances, once routine, are now less frequent, and his social circle has naturally shifted. Old friends have moved on or passed away, and new connections are carefully curated. Even someone as larger-than-life as Stewart cannot escape the quiet reality that comes with age. The world continues to move while you find yourself slowing down. Yet despite these challenges, Stewart remains deeply connected to his music. He spends hours revisiting old songs, reflecting on lyrics, and enjoying the moments when he can still pick up a guitar or belt out a tune in private. These sessions are no longer about performance, they are about memory, comfort, and maintaining a connection to the passion that has defined his life. Behind closed doors, the music keeps him grounded, offering solace and joy even as the external world changes. Fans may see occasional glimpses of him in public, smiling at a charity event, posing for photographs, or sharing a brief message on social media, but the full reality of his daily life is far more personal and quiet than the headlines suggest. The man who once owned the stage and captivated millions now spends significant parts of his day in reflection, in family moments, and in the private rituals that bring meaning to his golden years. Rod Stewart's story at 80 is not about fading fame or lost glory. It is about the inevitable adjustments of life, the emotional weight of aging, and the quiet moments that even legends must face. His days may be slower, his routine gentler, but they are filled with memories, music, and the lingering magic of a life lived under the spotlight. Even as Rod Stewart adjusts to life away from the relentless pace of touring and recording, the emotional side of aging has become increasingly apparent. Those who have known him for years describe a man who, despite his legendary career, now spends a great deal of time in quiet reflection. The public rarely sees this side of him, the private moments where he contemplates his past, the choices he made, and the friendships that have endured over decades. The bright lights and applause have been replaced by stillness, and while this slower pace brings comfort, it also highlights the reality that even icons must face their mortality. Rod has always been a fighter, someone who thrived on energy and momentum. His life was built around music, constant movement, and a schedule that never stopped. But as he's aged, the very activities that once energized him now require more care and intention. Simple tasks, like walking long distances or maintaining stamina for even a few performances, now remind him of the physical toll decades in the spotlight have taken. Friends note that he moves more cautiously, rests more often, and prioritizes his health in ways he never had to before. The vibrancy of his youth has given way to careful planning, and yet he approaches each day with a sense of gratitude for the life he has lived. The emotional side of this transition is more complicated. Stewart has been surrounded by fame and attention for so long that solitude feels unusual. While many would envy his current quiet life, for him it sometimes brings a sense of melancholy. Long nights alone, fewer interactions with old friends, and the growing awareness that some of his contemporaries are no longer around all weigh heavily. Even as he maintains contact with family and close companions, there are moments when the silence seems to echo louder than the applause ever did. Social media and modern fan culture have added another layer of complexity. Rod occasionally sees commentary about his age, health, and ability to perform, often highlighting the public's discomfort with watching someone they admired face the reality of aging. While he has always had a sense of humor about criticism, these constant reminders of time passing carry a different weight. It is a stark contrast to the world he once commanded effortlessly, a world where his presence, voice, and energy were unstoppable. Yet through it all, music remains Rod Stewart's anchor. Even in the quieter hours, he finds solace in revisiting old albums, picking up a guitar, or humming through classic songs that once brought him fame. These private musical moments aren't about performing for anyone, they're about reconnecting with the part of himself that has always defined him. Music allows him to feel alive, to remember why he dedicated his life to the craft, and to preserve the spark that made him a legend. Family has become central to this stage of his life. Rod cherishes time spent with children, grandchildren, and longtime friends who have supported him through decades of fame. Private dinners, simple conversations, and shared laughter have replaced glitzy galas and stadium tours. While these moments may seem ordinary compared to his larger-than-life career, they are priceless in giving him stability and emotional grounding. Rod Stewart's current life is a delicate balance, the physical limitations of aging, the emotional weight of reflection, and the enduring power of music all coexisting in a quieter rhythm. Though fans may feel sadness at the thought of him slowing down, these years also offer him peace, dignity, and the chance to savor a life few could ever imagine. As Rod Stewart continues through his 80th year, friends and insiders reveal that the singer's daily life has grown increasingly reflective, and at times deeply emotional. The man who once thrived on the roar of stadium crowds now finds comfort in solitude and the familiar routines of home. Even simple activities, such as tending to personal hobbies, listening to old records, or spending time in his garden, carry profound significance. For someone who spent a lifetime surrounded by fans, photographers, and endless travel, this quieter existence is both a relief and, at times, a reminder of how much has changed. Family support has become the cornerstone of his well-being. Rod often spends long hours with his children and grandchildren, finding joy in conversations that don't involve interviews or music charts. While his career once demanded every ounce of attention, these private moments now allow him to reconnect with the people who truly matter. Close friends note that he has grown more introspective in recent years, discussing memories of past tours, relationships, and the challenges of life in the spotlight. These conversations, filled with both laughter and melancholy, offer him a sense of grounding that the stage never could. The realities of aging are unavoidable. Rod's health requires careful attention, and he has adapted his lifestyle to match. He limits strenuous activity, follows tailored health routines, and avoids anything that could jeopardize his well-being. While he still enjoys music, sometimes revisiting old hits or experimenting with new melodies, the pace is slower, more deliberate. Every day is measured, every activity intentional, and every interaction cherished. Even small achievements, like mastering a new song or enjoying a quiet afternoon with loved ones, have become meaningful victories. Emotionally, there is a quiet sadness that accompanies this phase of life. Rod has long lived under the glare of public attention, and adjusting to a slower, more private lifestyle is not without difficulty. There are moments when the isolation is palpable, when he misses the camaraderie of touring, the thrill of live audiences, and the sense of purpose that performing brought. While social media and occasional public appearances maintain a connection to fans, they are not substitutes for the life he once led. The contrast between past vibrancy and current calm can be both comforting and bittersweet. Yet, even amid these challenges, Rod Stewart demonstrates resilience. Music continues to anchor him, providing both solace and purpose. Revisiting old recordings or quietly playing guitar reminds him of the passion that has defined his life. Friends describe these private sessions as rejuvenating, allowing him to reconnect with the creativity that made him a legend. Even if the world now sees less of him, his identity as a musician remains intact, quietly flourishing away from the public eye. In essence, Stewart's current days are a mixture of reflection, love, and the inevitable melancholy that comes with aging. While fans may feel sadness at seeing him slow down, these years are also a testament to a life fully lived. Through quiet moments with family, personal reflection, and the enduring presence of music, Rod Stewart is navigating this stage of life with dignity, grace, and a deep understanding of what truly matters. Now, at 80, Rod Stewart's life has entered a chapter defined less by spectacle and more by reflection, family, and quiet routines. While the world once saw him as a larger-than-life rock star, today he focuses on what truly matters: his health, his loved ones, and the music that has been the thread running through his entire life. This stage of life is not without its struggles. Friends note that the physical demands of aging sometimes frustrate him, and there are days when mobility and stamina limitations force him to pause. Yet, even in these moments, Stewart approaches life with resilience, adapting to the challenges with patience and determination. One of the most significant aspects of his current lifestyle is family. The rock legend, who spent decades on the road, has now embraced the joy of being fully present at home. Long mornings with grandchildren, quiet dinners with his children, and late-night conversations with close friends have become the foundation of his days. These are the moments that offer him fulfillment far beyond applause or accolades. For Rod, the ability to witness family milestones, to nurture bonds that had been interrupted by years of touring, is both comforting and grounding. Rod's music continues to be his anchor. While he no longer tours extensively, he spends hours in private, revisiting old albums, experimenting with acoustic sessions, and occasionally writing new material. These moments are not for public consumption, but for personal satisfaction and emotional release. Friends close to him describe him as more contemplative than ever, often reflecting on past achievements, legendary performances, and the extraordinary journey that brought him to this stage of life. Through music, he maintains a connection to his younger self, even as he navigates the realities of aging. Yet, there is also a quiet sadness. The energy and thrill of live performances, the roar of stadiums, and the intense connection with fans are experiences that cannot be fully replaced. Stewart sometimes reflects on these memories with a bittersweet awareness that those days are behind him. Social media glimpses, interviews, and public appearances occasionally remind him of how much life has changed. Still, he approaches these moments with humility, recognizing the value of slowing down and the importance of focusing on the life he can still influence and enjoy. Health, too, is a constant consideration. Stewart has adapted routines to preserve his well-being, prioritizing rest, diet, and careful activity. Even small daily choices, from a morning walk to practicing a favorite tune, are treated with intention. These decisions reflect his understanding that, while his career and fame were extraordinary, the longevity of his life and quality of his remaining years matter more. In essence, Rod Stewart's 80th year is a mixture of reflection, adaptation, and deep personal connection. The man who once commanded stages worldwide now finds meaning in quieter joys, in family, and in the music that has defined him. Though there is an undeniable melancholy in stepping away from the spotlight, there's also a profound peace, a sense of closure, of legacy, and of a life fully lived. For fans, it may be sad to see their hero slow down, but for Rod, these days are a reminder that even legends deserve rest, love, and the quiet satisfaction of a life rich in experience and achievement.